Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy. Let's get back to Deadly Premonition 2. Just jumping right into it. We kind of ignored Marvin. Last time we were playing, we got a raid from Cannon. Alright, so we just need to review the case and something about killing uh, the, yellow bees or something. I won't pretend to really understand it. Where we finished off last time, we had fought Galena Clarkson, who confessed to killing her daughter. And while we know who killed her, we don't have any clues to a motive. And there's also people that are involved in some way that we don't know anything about. This case is going to go much deeper than just who killed Lisa Clarkson. So I'm here for it. We've got the rest of the night to stream. We're done with Red Dead 2, so we don't have to try to juggle a couple games. That was a hell of a game. It was a hell of a game. So it probably seems kind of weird that I'm not dumping like 200 hours or something into it. And sure, that makes sense. Yeah, we really need. I think that might be one of my things that I start with, because I think the Wyvern service could be really good. I see one there in the distance. Oh no, that is a campsite. Oh, hold up. There's fuzz. I can fix that. That should fix it. So there's something here that has some sort of business hour. I don't know if it's Casa Pineapple or something else. We're looking for Wyvern balloons. Because actually, I was sitting there thinking, like, man, this game takes a little bit to get into, and I'm just not sure. It definitely has the zany, but it wasn't quite as much on the charm. And it's just right back where it was. But no, we started to get into it a bit more, which I'm excited. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go street by street and unlock any Wyvern balloons I see. What street are we on now? We're on Naveen, which is pretty much like the main middle road. So we're just gonna kind of cut up. We'll do this first half because we're not really messing around too much here at the second half of town, like across the river very much. We've got those Wyvern spots over there. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff, and this road actually seems to go out quite a ways. Just making sure there's nothing really of interest on the map, like kind of outside of view. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna look for some Wyvern spots. That's gonna help us get around. if the Red Dead streams indicate anything, because I have played open world games on stream before. I did an entire platinum run of Death Stranding. I've done Horizon Zero Dawn. is Shima. I really like fast travel. It's one of the more modern conveniences of gaming. I think it absolutely has a continued place as something I strive to get the most out of. So it's good we take a little bit of time here early on. We got into that big kerfluffle with Galena. That was pretty wild. Ooh. The frame rate's so bad, but you know what? When you're in like the other world segments, the frame rate actually is pretty decent. Like, I don't expect perfection, because Daily Premonition 1 was never a masterpiece in terms of like technicality, but it still made up for it quite a bit with charm. I'm gonna be looking around like a madman. You know what? I see a wyvern balloon up there. We'll just grab it really quick. What is this just doing here? Weird place to park a car. Feels like it should lead to something, but doesn't. There's another car on the road? I didn't think anybody drove in this town. Oh my god. I'm about to regain my composure a little bit. Another car on the road. Dang. This doesn't break out in any of the other streets, does it? Sure doesn't. But, I mean... yeah, because we just came up that one, so these two are the next ones, then we'll loop around. Look, there's already a wyvern there. We're gonna see the end of the road. The fuck? You know, I've been hearing that, and I don't know if I ever figured out what it was. Hello, pop in. Hello, pop in. Important thing is that we're looking around, kind of everywhere. Let's see if we can spot a red balloon. Now there's the wyvern balloon. Along with those UFO things that I don't know how to hit. Boy, we haven't been all that successful, have we? We've found 2 so far. There's another another bridge up here. Actually, didn't even consider this bridge. There's more UFO things. If only my gun could reach them. So far, every bridge has had a wyvern at it. I'm saying wyvern weird because that's how it's pronounced in this game. I understand that it's wyvern, but they like wyvern. So why am I gonna change it? Just like with live and leave and daymare. Except that one was me just copying the game, and then it took my Liev Schreiber fan girlfriend to be like, oh, it's Liev. She texted me as soon as she heard it. She's watching the replay. Let me know. But in that game, they do pronounce
this
it
town
as
sure is
leave.
peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach?
Another car on the road. Boy, we're just getting unicorns today, aren't we, boys? So I know we've been here before. I just went another way across. Sure enough. Whoa, hello. Oh, it's Wyvern. That was Wyvern's actual car. Weird way to say Wyvern, I know, but I'll write the game. If the character says their name is pronounced one way, who am I to say no, you're wrong? You don't know how your own name is. But while we're talking about it, everyone's been pronouncing my username wrong. Actually, it's Dragon Eat. Emphasis on the eat. That's also not true. I think I see a wyvern balloon. This is the one street we didn't go down. I feel like maybe if we just go to these markers, that'd be our best bet instead of doing such a thorough comb. Don't mind me just skateboarding in the park. Business as usual, dog. God. Well, that would have been my first collision. Oh, we are officially hungry. We will need to fix that. Checking for a wyvern thing here, though I doubt it. This feels so fucking disrespectful. Hey, don't mind me, just skateboarding through your park. That's not a park, that's a graveyard. Oh, what? I got zombies gnawing on my leg and shit. This feels like a boss battle would take place here. Big wide open space, spooky locale. A little bit baked in fog. Ooh. What's the dude over here? Let's talk to him. I really need to think about what games.
Zach, how about we grab a bite to eat? Not even I can think straight on an empty stomach.
Lewis. He's a very still man. Very tall.
Excuse me, but what are you doing?
Very tall.
Searching.
I wasn't expecting
What are
that
you
voice.
searching for?
Unknown.
You don't know?
No.
Interesting. Zach, this man is the perfect symbol of the human race. We all live out our lives searching for things, yet no one knows what they're actually searching for. That's what it means to be human. Don't you agree, Zach? I feel like that simple declaration of his just awakened us to something.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, 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 beep. Got a minute? Beep, boop. Transmitted. What are you staring up the sky for? Orders! Taking orders. Orders? From the heavens? I don't see or hear anything. Fleur-de-lis. Must gather fleur-de-lis. Maybe it's fleur-de-lis. I will remain here. Go and collect the fleur-de-lis in my stead. Collect. This album looks rather old. It's filled with nothing but dull pictures of the town. What do you want me to do with this? Each spot in each picture contains a fleur-de-lis. They can only be found by one with a special power. I see. You want me to go to each one of these spots and collect all the fleur-de-lis? Right. Find them all and something amazing will happen. Find them all. Beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. In the city, beep, beep. He must fight to survive, beep, beep. That's Pablo Francisco. He sold tortillas on the corner, and the mob wanted in. I don't know who this guy is, but boy, him and his tortillas are dead. I won't do the rest of the joke, but he basically makes a whole thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie called Little Tortilla Boy. But like the joke is like how cool Don LaFontaine sounds, the Mr. Movie Phone guy. Get down! Get down again! It's actually one of the inspirations for the Arnold voice. Funny bit of stream lore. So open the album, switch picture. Okay. Well, let's check them out. So there's one literally right outside. This is how they encourage you to check around town. Okay. That's a good little bit of extra. God, he's fast. I made a really corny joke. I'm so glad that my girlfriend puts up with my shit. Hey Vince, what's good, man? I'm playing probably one of the more strange games I've ever played on stream. Hope you're doing good. Hey, those are not yellow jacket bees. As a fair warning, any frame rate issues you have are very likely not the stream. This game has terrible frame rate when I'm out here on these streets. Ah, well, I wasn't sure if that was you, because I don't really get too much into Chaos's life. I knew y'all were a thing the last I'd heard, which granted was a while back, but you know, if you bothered to find me on there and send it, then I figured why the heck not. Very good. Yes, I know. One time, and I'm not gonna put a lot of your business out there or anything, but I know one time you came in here, you were just like, I only get her sometimes, and so on and so forth. So I wasn't gonna ask a whole bunch of stuff. Did we collect it? Is that all there was to it? It says it should be over here by this. And then, oh, we need the exclamation mark above our head. That's right. Well, this is the front door. Yeah, I really don't pry too much. The conversation stuck out in my head, so I was like, oh, I don't know. What's up? Gotcha. Well, like I said, I'm not going to put your business out there, but I'm glad to hear it. Sounds like y'all are doing pretty good now. Savvy! I was just talking about you. How you doing? The Kool-Aid vision is like this special view that I have. I don't really understand it myself. I'm supposed to be looking for a fleur de lis, so I think they simplified the name down for people like me to lily emblem. Maybe you have to be standing like in the spot the photo was taken. Yes, that seems to be the case. No, I was actually just saying that I'm happy you're so willing to put up with my dumb jokes and shit. Kind of like Eagle Vision from Assassin's Creed or Deadeye from Red Dead. Yeah, something like that. So it says it's over here, and I've got the exclamation mark. But like, it doesn't show up. Well, now it does. That is so funky. The joke in particular was talking about carbs and, you know, how they're essentially just not good for us. And I called them the Carb-Asians. So the Cardassians from Star Trek. Uh, yeah, it's the like flare from Saints Row. I don't know what the like reward for getting all those is gonna be, but we gotta eat before we get hangry. Yeah, if our hunger gets too low, we actually lose health.
And that's what I'm talking
like
about.
continually.
You can't get fine eating, so make sure.
Oh yeah, look at that. We're loaded now. Now we had a chance to actually fight some stuff. Shit. I wish I could like try to better be a better car and handle better and as fast.
Next time.
I don't know if we're ever going to get to drive a car in this game. They seem to really want us to use the skateboard like at all times. As silly as that is. This is not meant to be necessarily a good game. It's a game that I will enjoy because of how like dumb and quirky it is. But it's not meant to be a good game.
Very good, sir. Please, come right this way.
What was that other game you was playing that had fast cars or crappy handling? It was the first game of the series. This is Deadly Premonition 2. The other one was Deadly Premonition.
Please don't.
Would you mind if I asked you just one question, concierge?
By all means.
This is
please
the
ask me
sequel that
whatever
came
you
out
like,
for
sir.
Switch.
Do you run this entire hotel all on your own? I mean, just the three of you?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe they wanted, but they like make Fox a movie aficionado.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
So you, or the three of you, own the entire place.
Oh, heavens no, sir. The chef, the bellboy, and myself are all mere employees of this fine hotel.
So the Clarksons own this place too?
Not quite, sir. This hotel opened its doors long before the Clarksons came to prominence.
The running joke is that he is all three of those characters, and like he puts on a voice for all of them, but like you never can catch them all together, but they claim to not be the same person.
Impressive. No wonder this building
It's
has
not
such a
even
dignified
related,
air
even
to
though
it.
all of their names are David Jawara.
Indeed. This is probably the only building in all of Lucare that has managed to retain its original appearance.
So who's the owner? I simply must know the name of the person who had the fortune and sense to come into possession of such a fine building.
Well, Vince, that actually opens up. They are introducing a new set of PlayStation Plus tiers, and one of them is the ability to either download or stream classic games like from PS1 to PS3 and play them on PS4 and PS5. Though that's the highest tier, and it runs like $18 a month or $120 a year, which is pretty fucking steep, if I'm being honest. I'll consider getting it when I see the catalog of what they actually offer, because you can't just pop a disc in and play it. Like, it doesn't support disc emulation, which hurts a lot of my library. That means I still have to have some of my stuff like on the ready for like having my PS3 for playing PS1 games and having my PS2 ready to play PS2 games. Like, I don't get to unhook anything, but I can play it on more convenient consoles at least. Yeah, PSP is included in that as well.
The owner of this hotel is none other than David
There's
Jawaris.
so the owner is also David Jawara. So there's 4 of them now. We just grew up to 4.
That's the 4th David. It all makes sense now. It'd be stranger if only the owner was a completely different person.
Hey, I have a Vita as well. And I loved that console. I just hated that Sony like pulled the plug on it so soon. Like it wasn't even out for a year, and they're like, all right.
I sincerely hope I get a chance to meet him during my stay here.
If I may, Mr. Morgan, sir, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Why not?
Unfortunately, our owner has a bit of a personality problem. The 3 of us here describe him as having a fractured mind.
Oh shit, we just got some David Jawara lore. Fuck yeah. Which is funny because Wii U was shit. I wanted one really bad though because it was the only way I was going to get to play Bayonetta 2. But now, you know, that's not even the thing because... Oh look, Bayonetta 2. You also get Deadly Premonition. This is probably the best version of Deadly Premonition to play, like outside of the PC. But yeah, like I have stuff on my Switch. Not much, but I have some stuff. I'm just terrible about actually playing them. Yeah. I mean, I'm always a huge Final Fantasy nerd. It's nice to have pocket versions of them ready to go. Yeah, that's fun. I bought a Switch, and like this is literally the only game that makes me not regret it. Just because I'm really not big into like Nintendo properties that much. Um, I I get frustrated at paying Nintendo tax. I hate it. I'm gonna assume that this is the owner, David Jawara. Male privilege thinking a Switch fits into a pocket. No, that is not male privilege. And I probably should have clarified when I say my pocket. Hey, whenever I go to your house, what do I always bring? Like, without fail, I think there's been one time I've ever brought it, and that was just because I was only there for a couple hours. Oh yeah, it's for me to go to our room. You have 7 through 9 on your Vita with Legend of Dragoon, Legend of Mana. Very nice. I think Legend of Mana, didn't that just get like a PS4 re-release? No. No, you're fine. But I always bring my bag. And in that bag, even though I just took it out recently, but I used to carry, not this bad boy, hardly gave me this, but I do have my own case. And inside that case, I put my Switch. Because I used to always keep my Switch brick in there too. So, while true, not in my pocket, absolute fair call, still absolutely on my person. I don't really carry too many game consoles with me these days. I do bring my DualShock to a lot of places so I can do remote play, since you can do it over cellular now. Which is nice.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
Which, if remote play works with that retro collection, that could be kind of nice to just be able to pop in and be like, you know what, I'll play Legend of Dragoon while I'm, you know, out of the house.
We've got a complicated case on our hands this time.
or the original Silent Hill. Because, like, I could do that with my Vita, or I could just not pack the Vita around and have remote play available through my phone. Like, I even have, shit, where's that controller? This one. So, like, I have this controller that has a brace on it, and what I can do is I absolutely can fit my phone on there like that. And granted, it does make it pretty like top heavy, but like it holds it pretty good. I can sit here and fuck you know, get mad at it a little bit. Um, I can move this over to my new DualShock because this DualShock's fucked up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, no, this isn't a PlayStation controller. I have 6 different DualShocks, like within grabbing distance at any given time, along with a Switch controller, an Xbox 360 controller. It's stupid.
Especially as far as the Clarksons'
Anyways, let's
relationships
focus
go.
on the game.
But in a way, it's also a simple one. Understanding them on a deeper level is the most efficient way to uncover the truth behind all this. That's the one thing I'm sure of. Zach, let's start with the people who were closest to the victim. Lise
Parents.
Clarkson, the victim, is the granddaughter of the current head of the Clarkson family.
PJ Clarkson.
Her mother is Galena, an ex-actress, and Lise clearly inherited her beauty. Except for her eyes, that is. Lisa's eye color matches that of her father's. Now, do you remember who Lise Clarkson's father is?
Kung Fu Danny.
That's right. Lisa's father is Danny Clarkson. His real name is Daniel E. Clarkson. He's from Florida and used to be the CEO of a talent agency. Danny struck the heart of Galena and successfully became a member of the esteemed Clarkson family. Despite being his son-in-law, he acts like he was born a Clarkson, but he's still just the son-in-law. Next comes what happened to Lise. According to Alexis, Lise said that the man was as tall as an oak tree. I believe that's the same 10-foot-tall giant who made the fingerprints we found in the cold storage warehouse. Now, what did this man do to Lise prior to her murder?
Stole her chocolate sundae. Yep.
Yes, that's it, Zach. The man as tall as an oak tree followed Lise around and watched her. Despite his towering stature, he must have been rather shy. Or perhaps he was merely biding his time and planned to kidnap her from the very start. If that's the case, there should have been some evidence left at the scene of the crime.
No, you're good. I was just saying, Legend of Dragoon's awesome. It'd be cool if you can do remote play with the classic stuff. This would be a lot better than having to peck around other consoles with me.
Zach, we're still missing some puzzle
I
pieces.
can, but I'd have to bring around my Vita. Which, admittedly, the battery on my Vita is shit because it's a launch model.
Speaking of the scene of the crime, I did some profiling in the plantation's control room.
Bought it the day it came out.
The truth it revealed to us was nauseating and horrific. But we need to touch upon it if we wish to proceed. Isn't that right, Zach? Who actually murdered Lise Clarkson?
Her mom.
Yes, that's right.
PS4 and PS5 allows it to play that way. Just have to have the Vita on charge. Sure, but then I'm tethered to a wall. Whereas you can do remote play on your phone. This is what I was showing earlier. And then I have a DualShock 4 that actually has a brace, so I can remote into my PlayStation and play it with this DualShock. And I can sit there and have a fairly, decent remote play experience. And while yes, I could remote play with the Vita, I'm already carrying my phone with me. And carrying a controller isn't usually as much of a thing as to worry all the time about charging it. And the fact that if I want to set up, I can do it on my iPad as well. Yeah, the newer one lets you use a microcharger. Yeah, I have the old school one, so even chargers are getting kind of hard to find for it. You can get Savvy. I remote play on my stuff a modest amount.
Lisa's own mother killed her while she was dreaming about some bizarre new world. This is by far the vilest and ugliest crime we've ever seen. The fact that Galena set up her daughter's body at an altar makes this case even more complicated. Remember, not a single sacrificial human murder has ever been proven and documented in all of American history.
Yeah, I have some of the more recent COD games, but I only play single player. I don't play multiplayer.
The real world is far more complex than what we see in films and video games, and sacrificing a human life for something else is no easy task. In conclusion, Zach,
I don't have Cold War.
through our investigation, we
But
found
even
one
then,
character who sticks out more than anyone else.
I play single player. I do not play. I have not played a Call of Duty multiplayer since a little bit of Modern Warfare 3. I played an hour of Modern Warfare 3. I did Prestige once on Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. But I will play the single players. I went through Black Ops 3 and went through on its highest difficulty setting, not on co-op.
You know exactly who I'm thinking about, don't you? We'll need to have a word with her in the near future. Who's the stylish woman we saw during the profiling?
We don't know yet. Oh wait, Professor R.
Professor R. We haven't met her yet, but she's deeply intertwined with this case. Let's wait for the skeletal gentleman to guide us to her with an oracle. Well, Zach, what do you think? Isn't the Deep South something?
I should say, I play co-op stuff. I don't play competitive things.
The people here are just as warm as the weather, and the food is to die for. Might be nice to move down here after I retire. What, still too early to talk about that? You may be right. After all, this case has only just begun.
Bet you this segues into our second chapter since we're kind of reviewing the case, which I love because I need it because the time between the first and second session was pretty large. Well, we're in the loading screen now. I'm gonna get my jacket. I am cold. Oh, wow. I can put this right over here. Play for fun. You get competitive where you used to be a rushing team player. So, I used to play competitive multiplayer. Back during SOCOM 2. And I used to be in the clan, and we would play on game battles. We would arrange matches on there.
Galena can't be the killer. They're making all this shit up.
It's Kung Fu Danny. That's a big ass gator. You just keep it in your backyard? This must be PJ.
If what you say is true, Daniel, how do you plan to prove it?
If what you say is true, Daniel,
It's nearly been a century since the Clarksons first took control of Lucari. 100 years. I always thought my legacy would live on for 2, no, 300 at least.
I'm gonna find the real killer and beat the living dog shit out of him.
Yet it looks to me like times have changed. We ain't in the good old days no more.
Alright,
You
that.
understand me, boy.
Yes, sir. I'm
We're
right
gonna
there with
go
you,
and
Pa.
take over the car.
Continue what you started, sir.
Hit
And
up
make
the back
Clarkson
profile a
family
little
strong again. First, I need to find whoever really killed Lise and bash their fucking brains in.
I saw this coming. Ever since the day Lenny left home, the town of Lucari has been cursed. We can't stop what's happening now. It's too late. It's beyond me. No. It's beyond the minds of anyone who comes from the olden days. You understand me now, boy?
I'll chat a little
Yes,
bit more
sir.
when we're outside all
Maybe
these
I do.
cutscenes.
I'll kill him. Just leave everything to me, Paul.
Are you serious about this?
Yes, sir. Right hand of God. Look right in my eyes. I ain't lying. I'm serious. I just need you to lend me some troops, sir. We need retribution right now. That's the job I've been given, and I intend to do it.
That mullet is
Well, then.
something fierce.
Let me ask you one more time. Are you serious about this?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm a Clarkson, and all Clarksons have a job to do. Isn't that what we always say?
Mm-hmm. Then I'll need an arm.
Yeah. What?
Well now, you want to use my troops, I'm gonna need to know whether or not you're really serious about this.
You're bluff.
Just
Bluff.
one arm. Slide it on through that wire
my
there,
God.
and it'll take care of it for you.
Paul, I mean, you're joking, right?
Daniel, have I ever told you a single joke?
No, but
If you want to become a real Clarkson, then you done got yourself a job to do.
Hey, aren't
wait,
these
Paul,
the guys
I
from
get
the
it now.
Mafia City?
You want me to stick it in and pull it out at the
ads?
last minute, right? You want to see if I got guts or not, but there's gonna be another way. You can't be serious, sir. Hey, knock it off, you assholes! Let me go! He's just joking with me. Let me go, goddammit! Oh, please, sir, don't do this! Just tell me this is a joke, please!
This final boss looking motherfucker.
I am a Clarkson. And no matter how our fortune falls, all Clarksons have a job to do. That be the law of this land.
What is this band? What is this band? Why is that man wearing no clothes? And he's got cowboy boots, tiny whitey cowboy hat. And he's ripping that saxophone. I love video games. I love them so much. Alright. Hey, we got an S rank on that. Pains is what those are called. We killed 27 squirrels. Guess an over half naked brother being. They had like an old accountant. They had everybody there. It was wild as hell. But yeah, I used to play quads on SOCOM 4 through game battles. And for a very brief period of time, we were the top ranked quads team in the country. But I was just like part of that. And we were actually a group of more like 10 people. It wasn't always the same for it played, but I did play in a good amount of those matches. Ooh, yeah, it's too many people. We had like 25, probably at the most.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt.
Peanut butter hamburgers?
I'm so excited, York. Please.
Oh, we can actually see the ferry.
Rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have
Is that Emily?
one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time. Okay.
Oh, we're back in Zach's apartment.
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise.
What is he smoking? He's holding his blunt.
But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her.
Yes, I did.
What a
I
terribly
opened a new
convenient
Coke
story.
to do it.
You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Le Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report.
Greenvale was the first, where the first game took place.
As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files. Metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
We could try. But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on. Come on.
So Zach Morgan, who's we'll say alternate ego, it's not exactly right. He's dying of cancer. And thus he is smoking a bunch of weed to offset the pain. And these are investigators that are
Is that all you have to say?
investigating him.
Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection.
Most people call him York or Zach. They don't really call him Francis or Morgan. That's kind of an Aaliyah thing.
Much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
Alright. So these segments, we're in Zach's apartment. And we have to navigate through a conversation using things around the apartment.
Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times. And just last week,
Patricia
her employees
Clarkson.
spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Someone stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time.
A little bit, yeah.
Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out?
They're investigating an old investigation. So this takes place in 2019, and they're investigating a case from like the mid 2000s. So that's the part that takes place before the first game. But the fact that we're talking to Zach and not York, that means that this part takes place after the first game. So he's dying, and we're basically playing a bunch of mind game shit with him to try to get information because there's apparently some discrepancies in the case files, and they think that he's hiding some crucial shit, especially where the victim's body from The mid 2000s case just showed up after 14 years.
Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way. Why are all these places blotted out? Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it. It's precise, and it's also kinda poetic, you know?
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry, from the bottoms of our hearts.
He keeps saying we and our, because he's referring to both himself and his fairy and York. Because him and York were still one person at that time.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
But York no longer resides within that body.
Will
York
you
is in the
comfort me?
afterworld with Emily.
Thank you, my fairy.
Though we got our first glimpse of the fairy, and I think that's Emily. From the first game.
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here. That's the window that faces the street out front. I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there. DVDs are all over the place. I know that he's a shut-in, but this still seems like way too many for one person. And I've never heard of any of these titles before.
He's kind of a movie hipster.
Agent Jones is completely checked out, despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here. Agent Jones! Are you paying attention?
Mr. Jackpot.
Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
Hello!
No. Sorry.
That's a Twin Peaks reference.
I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind.
So you'll notice that there's nothing in this apartment that's the color red. And that's because Zach has actually developed a phobia of the color red based on the Greenvale case, since that involved the red tree.
My bad.
So you won't see any red in this apartment. That's why she's wearing the one glove on her left hand, because she'd cut herself and the bandage was red. So she wanted to go ahead and get that covered up with a glove.
I'm actually kind of nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation. So far, everything checks out with the report. But there were always some parts of the report that didn't make sense. He expects me to believe he just happened to solve a case this difficult while he was on vacation?
Yep.
And metaphysical offender profiling? I won't let him distract me with his fancy made-up words. An elegant, antique lighting fixture. And most of his other furniture is of the same quality. Why is his room such a mess, then? This is why, instead of calling him a dangerous person, they've labeled him a high-functioning sociopath.
So it's weird that our character from the first game is being held in such a poor regard.
Just the usual around here. No need to worry.
The usual?
Yes. A strange person lives upstairs. Every now and then, he makes noise.
What's strange about him?
Several years ago, a woman was murdered upstairs. Her husband still lives there.
Yikes.
He's ex-BPD, and apparently he's still searching for the killer. But it seems like they cut all support for the investigation due to decreased funding. The team on the case wanted to keep working on it, but the suits wouldn't hear of it. A tale as old as time. Due to his situation, perhaps, he's been making a lot more noise recently. Like you just heard.
You never noticed anything, Agent Jones.
Well, I did hear some loud noises every now and then, but I didn't think they were real noises coming from upstairs. I mean, look at him. It's not like he's reacting to the noise. He always just went about his business as usual for all the years I've watched him. So I just figured it was coming from the TV.
You really amaze me sometimes.
Looks weird in a cool way. Yeah, he's really
After you
fallen from
arrested
grace
Galena
because,
Clarkson,
like, that's
you
the
had a run-in
same
with the
dude that we were
Clarksons.
just playing as, and there's only been a 14-year difference between then and now in the game.
At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth.
Just to give a little bit of info here. Let me find it. This is something I can actually show you. So this is what... Granted, this is a spoiler for the first game, but I don't think anybody here is going to care, really. But this is what Zach looks like in 2010. And this is... I took this from the very end of Deadly Premonition 1. So you'll see they have that same white hair. This is only 9 years earlier. So this was in 2010. And then that's him in 2019. So he has gotten fucked up during all those years. I love having all my screenshots, like, quickly available.
Truth doesn't work
So I
like
can just
that.
show people shit that I've taken.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Oh, Belle. We
Yep.
think we finally
Granted, he has
understand what
cancer.
you're trying to say.
Like, late-stage cancer. So that absolutely is going to contribute to it to some degree. But his mind has become very messed up as well.
But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know. Yes, it's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup. No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon.
Assassin!
Normally, you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? Hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special power, just like us.
Yeah, that's Corone. She's a VTuber. That was when she was playing Assassin's Creed. She got a double assassination, yelled out, "Double assassin!" Because
You've been watching
it's
us this
Japanese.
entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest, and you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us. You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days beforehand? You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something.
damn, he's calling
Isn't
her
that
out.
right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes
Ooh,
into
throw
you.
out all the cliched quotes.
But I.
Oh, coffee. Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. In
These segments are pretty much all cutscene. There's not a whole lot of gameplay.
Oh. What the Christ? This is friggin' delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second there.
Ooh, and coffee
Come on,
shits.
Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Of course it is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us.
That's a Twin Peaks reference.
If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now.
I actually got to talk to one of my customers today about Twin Peaks. It was pretty awesome.
So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee.
She got to talk about living in the Pacific Northwest. And I was like, oh yeah, it looks beautiful up here. She's like, yeah, you know, it's a lot of woodlands and stuff. I was like, yeah, I watched Twin Peaks. it's very heavily in that area. She's like, oh yeah, that show really does have a lot of the woodlands up here. And I was like, yeah. So I probably got a C-set on that one. I can't really like talk about what exactly I do. So we'll just say I do customer service. I can't even say what company I work for.
Especially
But basically, if
critical
people
moments like this.
need refunds for things they've bought, then I help.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky.
Cumulonimbus. That is a word I have never heard of, or it's like I've heard of like cumulus, but cumulonimbus isn't cumulonimbus clouds. Isn't that like isn't that redundant? Cloud forming a towering mass with a flat base at fairly low altitude and often a flat top, as in thunderstorms. Oh yeah, you see those a lot. So, what is the... Okay. Yeah, but it's not Amazon. I won't confirm who it is. If you keep guessing, don't bother. But it's not Amazon.
And that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
But yeah, you can think that it's similar enough.
Ominous. It's almost like a manifestation of the atmosphere in this room right now.
This segment can go on for a while if it's like
Do you
the
hear
first
that
one.
thunder? It's probably gonna snow soon.
It's a lot of talking.
We're in Massachusetts. That's the norm for this time of year.
Well, I'm not used to the cold. If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter? Snap out of it.
Oh,
Yeah, we have a bunch
sorry.
in this area.
Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
Okay. I
You just what?
They're not
Uh,
very efficient with this question.
my stomach's been letting some thunder loose too.
He got them thunder shits.
Thunder?
He did say he's gonna shit himself from drinking that coffee. You wouldn't mind a spring storm. I like thunderstorms. I just don't like the wind that's usually associated with them.
It what? We don't have all day here.
The coffee was just so good, it summoned forth a massive tsunami from within me.
Excuse me? What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
Right door at the end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it.
You need something to plug it up, Chief.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons. I need to get him to confess. Oh, yeah. That reminds me, there's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase. Agent Jones probably won't be back for a while. Actually, now might be my opportunity to make some real progress.
Me when I eat
Have you ever
Taco
seen
Bell,
this before?
making my own damn jokes before me. I'm curious what these longitude and latitudes go to? Let's Google them. 3224 31.7 north. I hate the wind. Absolutely hate it. I have no idea how to even type this. Yeah. Super not a fan of high winds. I have some tall trees near where I live.
And please, don't say no.
Sang Rouge, the drug we once chased. What about it?
Sang Rouge is still circulating. It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now, but it's still very much alive.
I haven't been out at all
But only
today.
in a very limited part of Louisiana. You aren't surprised? Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
But Sang Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder. The origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared, but it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. If you're lucky. No. Sang Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding this entire time. Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré.
Le Carré.
He's chain smoking it non-stop. He's clearly dependent on it, which means he might be dependent on other drugs as well. Mr. Morgan, I heard that you were always a smoker. Did you ever wonder if that was the reason you contracted your illness?
They don't animate him smoking.
does
He
that
just sits there.
Have to do
And I
with
actually
this
think
case?
that's kind of an error, because I'm pretty sure I've seen him like take drags off
Nothing.
of plenty.
I'm just
During the
personally
first session.
curious about it.
Sometimes, people die in car accidents, regardless of how well they take care of their health. Other times, they slip on their bathroom floors and crack open their heads. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I'm not concerned with statistics. I'm just curious about you, right here, right now.
We switched over from nicotine to this. It's less addictive. That's one step in the right direction, isn't it?
Perhaps. If we're talking about withdrawal symptoms or physical dependencies. But it still seems like you're smoking too much at once. Honestly, it looks to me like you have a mental dependency.
Maybe. But so what if we do?
Surely you know about gateway drugs, yes? When a person starts to use one drug, it becomes much easier for them to branch out and try other drugs as well. The first drug acts as the gateway that leads them to stronger substances.
Oh. Are you trying to say that's going to happen to us?
No. I'm simply saying there's a possibility.
So back to the
Immediately
letters.
after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
What?
To put it more accurately,
Oh.
no one's seen her since the afternoon of the 28th. According to her employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for. This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car, the '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline. So, what do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
Now we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi? I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with, especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works. You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim Reaper. After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good, Bill. Damn good.
Ooh!
You're brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't you agree? She's good. So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy.
That is a very creepy shot of his eyes. Oh, damn, buddy. The next opportunity we get, whether it's a text bubble, I have to step away for like 2 seconds, let my dog in. What is going on? The sheriff's... Oh, shit. Galena
Son
is
of a-
so dead.
How did this happen in my town? God damn it!
The head and limbs were severed and lined up, according to the lines that were drawn with her blood. Just like migratory birds flying systematically across the sky. Hey, Zach, what do you think this means?
They're severed roots.
Why the
Severed?
fuck are you here, Patty?
This is the way the Clarksons kill someone when they want to cut him off from the family.
And how do you know about this?
Everyone in town knows about it. They're just too scared to talk.
What does the V stand for?
She's
then?
10 years old! Get her out of the crime scene!
What, you think I know everything now?
Vilitatio. It means quarrel in Latin. That's what the V stands for.
Latin. Intriguing, isn't it, Zach? There are no defense wounds on the corpse. In other words, Galena showed no signs of resistance when she was amputated. But, strangely enough, there are small traces of subcutaneous bleeding around the wounded areas. That's a vital reaction, which means she couldn't have been dead.
You mean...
Yes, that's right, Patty. Galena was amputated while she was still alive, and she never resisted.
Did they bring the gator in
Is that
here?
even possible?
It certainly isn't impossible. For example, if she was put to sleep with a drug, or if she desired the amputation herself.
Why would she ever desire that?
Mr. York, I'm sorry, but there ain't no way that could have happened.
Melvin, get your daughter out of this crime scene. What the fuck?
Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic. This is especially true for phenomena in which humans are involved. Do you really think all the facets of love and hate can be explained with logic?
Well, no, I don't reckon I do. Yeah, might be too early to rule out those possibilities, just like you say.
Zach, now we truly know just how deeply the Clarksons are involved with this. Patty, how long does it take to reach the Clarkson estate?
Just a short drive. You just gotta head west along the Mississippi. You can't miss it.
Got it. Thank you, Patty. By the way, Melvin, no matter how accelerated Patty may
Thank
be,
you!
don't you think she's still a bit too young to see something like this? For the record, I have no intent to instruct others on how to raise their children.
I'm so glad somebody asked. Shit.
Holy moly, you're right! Patricia, CLG! Come on, sweetie. Kids shouldn't have to see stuff like this.
Daddy, it's too late now.
I agree with her, at least. I don't know why they ever thought it was good to, hey, let's bring this 10-year-old girl down here. It's cool. Nah, man, she's cool, bro. Alright, 2 seconds. I'm not even gonna cut the recording, but I gotta let my dog in. Of course, she's a friend of Dave Navarro's. That's right. Also, I'm back.
You sure you okay, CLG?
Why didn't I get this
I'm
while
fine.
they were auto-pressing the button?
Besides, I'm used to seeing stuff like that on CSI.
Ah, that's right. She does watch a lot of CSI.
You're
We-
the one who looks pale, Daddy.
We know she likes Gil.
Well, it did shake me up a little, but I'll be back to normal in no time. Sorry about that, Mr. York. What say we rest in the interrogation room till we all calm down, CLG?
CLG, if I remember correctly, it's either cute little girl or clever little girl, since that's his daughter.
Sure thing, Daddy. I'm gonna go sit with Daddy for a bit, Agent York.
Though I suspect she's a Clarkson, because they mentioned Patricia earlier. And they particularly called her Patricia Clarkson.
We can join back up later.
Galena killed her daughter, so her family cut ties with her. Do you really think that's what happened here, Zach? If this is truly the ritual that the Clarksons use to cut ties with someone, why would they go out of their way to do it here, in a holding cell? They could have easily done it after we released her. And judging from how Danny Clarkson was acting, I think it's clear that he really loved Galena. How could he accept this grotesque butchering, even if it was for the sake of the family? There's no point in ruminating on this. We should get back to the investigation. As long as we keep moving, the answer will inevitably fling itself straight at us.
I love how certain he is that it was a Clarkson that came and murdered them. It's like, that'd be a really easy MO to, like, fake. It's Hungan. We haven't actually seen him in a minute.
You found the flying serpent. But now, the flying serpent will come to find you.
Yeah, that sounds right. And it looks like this flying serpent is a venomous one.
Some become feasts, while others are eaten alive. Which fate would you prefer?
Both sound marvelous, but let me check with Zach.
A fine answer. Find the one who fired the pistol at heaven. Within the white hall of beds, brandish the ticket to the goddess. And once again, you will see the other world. Do you comprehend the oracle?
Something like that.
Zach, it looks like he's hell-bent on leading us back into that other world.
Follow the oracle.
Oh, I will, Hungan. There are only two types of things in our world. Things that should be resisted and things that should be accepted. And I believe this oracle is something to accept.
Okay, what the fuck is this ghost, dude? So, Hungan literally means voodoo priest. He's already helped us out before in the first chapter, but he acts as an oracle character
Do you
to
think we're crazy
provide us
for
with
believing everything
guidance.
that skeletal gentleman says? No, we're not crazy. Not one bit. This is our destiny, that's
He
all.
tells us to do random things, and it conveniently becomes clues that
But I
point
shouldn't
us
need to explain
forward
that
in the
to you, Zach.
investigation.
The one who fired the pistol at heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Young Guns, 1988, directed by Christopher Kane. There's that great scene where Emilio Estevez keeps firing his Colt M1877 up at the sky. Well, but that film took place in New Mexico, didn't it? And the Oracle probably isn't referring to a situation like that.
It's always
It's
a
got to
fucking
be for
movie.
some purpose other than an attack or a threat. Raising a pistol up to the sky, then slowly pulling the trigger, kind of sounds like the start to a race. Don't you agree, Zach?
I don't know where we do.
Unfortunately, Zach, you're wrong. We need to find someone who fired their pistol straight at the sky. The one who fired the pistol. Unfortunately, we need to find some.
Oh,
The one. Unfortunately, we need to. The one who fired the pistol. Unfortunately, we need to.
I have no
the one
idea.
who fired the pistol at.
Is there
Zach.
there's a race that takes place down here?
We're currently running a race here,
Are we?
and the one who started this murder investigation is indeed the one who fired the pistol at Heaven. In other words, the person who first discovered the body.
Oh,
According to the files, Lisa's body was discovered by Chuck Thompson, a crawfish farmer.
I would not have put that
He
together.
apparently works out of a fishing hut located in the marshes south of the bayou. Let's go pay him a visit. Who knows? We might even get to see some crawfish. What? Why isn't the murderer the one who started this race? Zach, this isn't like you. Of course the murderer isn't the one who started the race. The murderer's running it. They're currently in first place, and they're breaking all the rules. Any more objections, Zach? Within the White Hall of Beds. This one is even easier.
I sure
There are
hope
only a few
so.
establishments that have a whole hall's worth of beds, especially in a small town like this. I'm sure you've already got a pretty good idea about what the answer is, Zach. Beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think it must be referring to a brothel. I mean, you really think that's a White Hall? Sorry, but I have to. There's a more obvious answer out there, a place that anyone would think of when they hear the words White Hall. I mean, come on. Who would ever use White Hall as a symbol for a bordello? No, a White House refers to the same place no matter what country you're in. Disinfectant, jars of medicine, and white smocks. That's right.
Oh,
It's a place where
yeah.
people dress.
So
in
the church
all-
operates
You
as a
never
clinic.
disappoint me, Zach. It's a medical facility. They invite their patients into rooms full
Like,
of
I would have
beds
guessed the
where they're
hospital,
tended
but
to
I
by
forgot
doctors
we
and
learned
nurses clad in white.
that this functions as the hospital in the church.
It's definitely a White Hall, where people are invited into beds. You always manage to impress me with your intuition.
I'm glad you talk so highly of
Really
me.
counting on you here, Zach. And I know I'll always be able to.
All right, so we have our next couple leads.
Agent York, you're trying to leave without your trustworthy assistant?
Hello there, Patty. I'd never attempt such a thing. I was simply engaging in a battle of wits with Hoongan while I waited for you.
Hoongun?
Yes, the skeletal gentleman in the top hat.
Not that story again. Is this how you always conduct your investigations?
No, it's just, usually trip bowls or something
This is the
different.
way I work.
That's how I get those metaphysical profiling
I bet you can't find a single partner.
clues.
Not even in the entire FBI.
That's not true. I always work together with Zach.
Oh, right. Zach. Don't worry. I'll be your partner while you're here in our town. Now, let's go investigate.
So neither of those are time sensitive. Boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm sitting a little bit off to the side, but like I did move the camera over because if I sit like straight in it, you're like, yeah, I'm good. But like I usually will sit like kind of leaned over. So what I'm gonna do while we have a moment, I'm gonna just bring that bad boy over one notch. Yeah. Old PJ Clarkson.
How's your mama?
Oh,
So, you're that hotshot FBI agent I keep hearing about.
And who might you be?
I came to claim the body of my daughter.
well, you would know that she's
My
actually.
daughter, who was murdered in a
Oh, that
holding
one.
cell after you detained her yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the granddaughter. Nope, you're good.
Zach, I wasn't expecting to run into the final boss this early. You must be the head of the Clarkson family, PJ Clarkson. And you've come to claim the body of Galena Clarkson, whose dismembered corpse was found early this morning. Is that correct? Where did you learn that Galena had been murdered? Zach and I just learned of the news ourselves.
This is Lucari, and I am PJ Clarkson. There ain't a single thing I don't know about this town.
I see. So then you must
seems
also know
very
about
tall.
the severed roots ritual. I have a question for you, Philip. We suspect that Galena was murdered by someone from the Clarkson family. Have you given that possibility any consideration?
Listen up, you FBI piece of shit. You better watch your manners around my paw.
Shut up,
else.
Daniel.
Shut
sir.
it, Daniel.
My bad, sir.
I'll have you know I once had 3 children. But I must not have raised them very well, because my son and my eldest daughter both ran away and never came back to me. The only one who stayed by my side was my second daughter.
He's a very tall man.
Lena. Then she done married Daniel here in the
Fucking
family,
Joe Dirt back there.
presented me with both an heir and a granddaughter. Seemed for a while as if things were finally starting to calm down. But then, someone corrupted both Galena and Lise. And I lost everything. Well, aside from my shit-heel son-in-law, that is. You understand me, FBI?
Galena's death is nothing but a loss for the Clarkson family.
That doesn't mean the Clarksons are automatically innocent, though. Humans don't always act out of self-interest, do they?
That mouth. You're starting to sound more and more like your mother.
Like your mother. Who does his voice?
We're leaving, Daniel.
I feel like
What?
I know it.
But my treasure...
Now, whether you end up being an angel or a demon,
David Lodge.
I reckon you're the man I've been waiting for all this time. Once you finish that autopsy and we're clear to take her home, I want you to give me a call.
They're phenomenal, Patty. So perfectly rural. Ominous statements, foul-mouthed insults. This town possesses a complicated system of communication that you just can't find in the city. Work-centric emails are so cold and lifeless. This is what true human connections feel like. Connections as visceral as blood itself.
Ah.
So, Agent York, What's next
I
on
knew
your
I knew
agenda?
that voice.
The last boss may have gotten the jump on us, Patty, but I didn't let him shake my resolve. I intend to obey the skeletal gentleman's oracles,
I didn't
and
know
that's
that.
that. First, we should head to either the home of the person who discovered Lisa's body or to the town's medical facility. Well, Zach, what do you think?
So, PJ Clarkson's voice is voiced by a dude named David Lodge. And he, his anime credit that's probably the most well known. Granted, I didn't know this one, but he was Jiraiya, and he was one of the voices for Kenpachi from Bleach. But what I know him from is Never Dead. He was Bryce Boltzmann, who is the main character of that game, which I intend to stream that game at some point. He's the voice of Louis in Final Fantasy XIV, which is how I most immediately know him. And he also voiced a few characters in Final Fantasy 15, and he was the voice of False Igor in Persona 5. So, False Igor and Luswa are probably the roles that I would most immediately be able to be like, that's him, but yeah, it's not really always the case. We're gonna head to the Thompson's farm. Ooh, that frame rate. I actually might need to take 5. The sudden humanly urge to use the restroom is hit.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even feel like figments of my imagination. Think back to what Las Vegas looked like when we were driving up I-15. It was a mirage. But TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world. Meanwhile, American women become fascinated by the gorgeous city lights and are drawn toward those illusions. The very same women who were chosen as prom queens in their small towns. In the end, all they find are ghosts. Once their eyes adjust to that blinding light, they realize there's nothing but vanity and lust surrounding them. They finally figure out that it was all in their heads. Then they quickly try to satisfy themselves with something else. Drugs. And drugs are the gateway to a whole pantheon of crime. Zach,
As we've
remember what you
learned.
told me once? The women who turn to crime aren't the evil ones. The drugs aren't evil either. They're nothing but chemicals. The ones who...
Oh. What?
Okay, Zach. It's time to put our skills to the test.
We tried to do this a minute ago. Oh no! Our skateboard broke. Shit! Oh no.
Well, Zach, it seems as if we've reached an impasse. I'm afraid we won't be able to proceed any further like this.
Lucari Tiger to DC Eagle. Is everything all right?
You see
Hello,
me
Melvin.
eat shit out here?
Sadly, my darling just gave out on me.
Your darling? You mean...
Yes, that's right. My beloved skateboard. I know the chances are slim, but do you happen to know of any establishments in town that can repair skateboards? Please, I hope this doesn't offend you. Neither Zach nor I would ever dare to assume that a remote country town like this would have a skateboard shop in it. But perhaps you have at least one eccentric who likes to tinker with them in their spare time.
I know just the person. Double bass player by night, trick master by day. God blessed her with 2 talents. And her name is Emma Sanders.
Emma?
That's right. She's Pastor Sanders' adopted daughter, and was also Lise Clarkson's best friend. Emma really knows her stuff. She's got tools and a mountain of parts, so I'm sure she'll be able to help.
I owe you one, Melvin.
The image I have in my head right now is of Nico from Devil May Cry 5, who coincidentally is my
Zach, I never thought
my
we'd
phone
find our
background.
very own skateboard mentor out here in the sticks. Let's head straight to Emma. What is
I know
it,
it's
Zach?
not going to be it.
Why didn't I just ask the sheriff to tow away the old cars? But isn't it obvious? I want to overcome this obstacle using my own strength. In fact, I want to soar over it.
Emma is now our skateboard mentor. The only thing that sucks, we're now on foot.
So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies? We don't even have a movie theater around here, so I can only watch what I manage to catch on TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie channel we get at home is the sci-fi one. So I just watch a lot of sci-fi.
Like what? What's the last one you saw?
The one with Schwarzenegger, where there's all these clones.
The Sixth Day, 2000, directed by Roger Spottiswoode. You must be very well versed in sci-fi if you can appreciate an Arnold S. film.
I thought it was way too easy for them to make more clones. And you'd never see a clumsy investigation like that on CSI.
That's right.
You'd never see
It's
it on
realistic.
CSI.
Everything about that film is so realistic. It may be difficult for a child to understand. But, Patty, that's not your fault. All of Arnold S.'s films are filled with hyper-realism, you know. On top of that, Roger Spottiswoode is a director who excels in dealing with hardcore subject matter. Turner and Hooch, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Each film features one of the toughest tag teams you'll ever find. I can see why it's beyond you, though.
No, what I'm trying to say is, Schwarzenegger's character was just a pilot, right? Why was he so strong?
It's okay, Patty. You don't need to try and act like an adult to
She's
impress me.
asking a
I didn't
valid
understand the
question.
charm of Arnold S. films when I was your age either. You need to take your time and slowly reel the film in. Do that, and Arnold S. will greet you with a big, warm smile.
Whatever, just stop calling him Arnold S., okay? It's irritating me.
Zach, she's at a sensitive age. We both know full well that this
we
is the
move.
official way to refer to the film star, but she isn't used to it, so it's bothering her. When in Rome, Schwarzenegger will greet you with a big, warm smile. Zach, my mouth feels weird. How many fingers do you think we'd need to count the number of people who actually call him Schwarzenegger? We'll just have to stomach it for her sake, Zach.
You're
Patty,
the
we're
only one that
investigating
calls
here.
him Arnold
I think it's
S.
about time we cut the chit-chat and got back to work.
What? You're the one who brought it up, and you hardly even let me say anything.
Patty's getting his ass. Yeah, we can't use our skateboard, so we literally just have to hoof it. But like, yeah, he's that much of a
It
fucking
really
film
seems
hipster.
like you knew who Galena Clarkson was.
Well, I've never actually talked to her, but it's a small town. Pretty much all folks know who the Clarksons are, and Galena's supposed to be extra scary compared to the rest of them. Back when we saw her in town, I felt like she was glaring right at me, so I got real scared. No one will come out and say it, but I'm pretty sure they're all relieved that she was the killer. We're lucky the killer ended up being a member of the Clarkson family. Otherwise, the whole town would have turned into a battlefield.
You've got a point, but did everyone really hate her that much?
They didn't hate her. She hated them. She had this real peculiar way of treating people. I don't know how to describe it.
Contemptful?
Yeah, I guess that's it. She never opened up to anyone in town.
She was rich, beautiful, and wanted to become an actress. So she went to a metropolitan city to refine herself. There's always a chance that people like her may develop prejudices towards those who stay in the countryside. A big chance, even. But just because a person has prejudices doesn't mean they'll go out and murder people. That's where my doubt lies. Was there any sort of...
Cut that right off.
Hey, Agent York. Just so you know, dealing with Pastor Sanders is gonna be a big pain in the butt.
A big pain in the butt?
That's what I said. But I guess you have no choice but to obey your oracle, huh?
Wait, shit, this isn't the repair place. Though, while we're here... Okay, so I can't see my other ones, but if I go here... we can cut at least half the trip out by a taxi. Boy, you don't really know how much you take that skateboard for granted until you don't have it anymore. But I don't have to stick to the streets. I can just go right across all these yards. I can only run in very short spurts though. The ST, that's my stamina. And when that runs out, pooped. I was going to say, I know I stopped it early enough. If I hold right button, then yeah, I'll run as soon as it's available at any given time. And there's a wyvern balloon there. I'm saying wyvern because that's how they pronounce it in this game. I know it's wyvern. But the lady who runs it, she specifically calls herself wyvern. Like, they even pronounce it wyvern in the corner.
Hey, Agent York. I feel like someone's in there. Let's go and see.
Huh? What do y'all want? I'm kind of busy here.
Hi there. Are you Emma?
Yeah, who are you?
Francis York Morgan. I'm an FBI special agent. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Agent York? So, what does the FBI want with little old me? I already told the police everything I know about Lee's.
Emma, I haven't come here to talk to you about Lise. Although I suppose it's sort of connected in a way. My darling is broken, and I need you to fix her.
You call your board your darling? I never heard that one before. All right, let me see it. I'll try and assess the damage. I replaced all your trucks, wheels, and gave you some brand new deck tape. Also, you were missing a tail guard, so I put one on for you. That way you should be able to do a few tricks here and there without any risk of damage. Well, what do you think?
It's beautiful, Emma.
The wheels were scraped down and the base plate screws were all about to fall out. Oh, and the axles were also warped. It was pretty much in critical condition. Now, what I want to know is, how did it get that way?
Well, my car was stolen on my way here from Houston. So, I switched over to my darling and rode her here instead.
You know, you're crazier than you look.
Emma, would you mind answering another crazy question for me? I want to use this board to soar, literally. Would you mind teaching me a trick that would allow me to do so?
You mean you want to do a Wally? Ooh, well, I'd be happy to teach you how, but it's too cramped in here. Oh, I know where we should go. You want to learn too? You sure? Seems like you're interested.
He's like,
Whatever. I know you're just gonna come along anyway. So you should at least learn the basics.
Yeah, it'd be cool if she could ride along with us. So that way she doesn't just vanish, but she's there like she's omnipresent. Okay, so we can do tricks and stuff. That's awesome. The abandoned factory.
Okay, Agent York. Now we should have enough room to practice. I'll show you how it's done first, then you just practice till you learn how to do it, okay?
Remember, this is a horror game. Okay. So, you did an ollie at the top of a jump. I can't do anything. What the fuck? You know what? This is a good time for me to pause the recording. I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're back. So, the game has frozen because the time has not moved. Reload it. Just won't put my leg up. I anticipate technical issues with this game. Oh god. Go away. It's a good for pulling up YouTube in the middle of a stream. Okay. This will take a little bit. It ain't frozen. The game freezes up a lot during these loading screens, but so far it hasn't frozen during one of those. Okay, so this is already different. Because we didn't get to see this view before. The camera was stuck behind York. Alright, Savvy. I know I'll talk to you a little bit later, but... Press L at the right timing and soar. Okay, so... You can get some nice little bits of height. We didn't have the speed for that. But they made that one really easy. I don't know why they're not just calling it an ollie. Maybe a Wally is a jump off a ramp.
That was perfect!
Yeah. Thank you, Emma. I only learned that new trick thanks to your guidance. Now I'm sure that Zack and I will be able to reach our destination without any trouble at all. Thank you for assisting in the investigation.
Glad to be of service. If your board breaks again, or you feel like customizing it a bit more, just stop on by my workshop. I'm pretty much always there during the day. I'm also taking some time off school because of what happened with Lise. Skating and playing music are the only things that help me escape the pain of losing her.
Zack, did you see the expression on her face just now? She works hard to act cheerful, but she's yet another person who was hurt by the tragedy. Lisa's death is like wildfire, spreading embers of sadness throughout the entire town.
Incense has been unlocked. There's a lot of things to unlock. So where exactly in town did we end up? Oh wow, yeah, we are quite a ways. Let's turn around and go to Raven's house. Just because there may be another, like, convenient one there.
If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity. Reminds me of Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great length.
The slide just bump and they stop talking.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person. Violent City, 1970, directed by Sergio Solima. I only ever saw it on TV when I was a kid, so I don't remember it very well. But I definitely remember that it featured a bridge, a long bridge. During the New Orleans part, that's the one thing I remember. That bridge must have been the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. And the film starred Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. What an amazing sound. You couldn't possibly find another man whose name matches his appearance so perfectly. Yes, of course I know that Charles Bronson isn't his real name. Charles Dennis Buczynski. That's his real name. But he's Bronson. Period. Zach, what's your favorite Bronson film? Death Wish? The Magnificent Seven? Rider on the Rain? Or Farewell Friend? They're all masterpieces. But to me, his greatest work lies elsewhere. That's it, Zach. No wonder we get along so well. I don't care what anyone else says. His greatest film by far is 10 to Midnight, 1983, directed by J. Lee Thompson. There's no realism to be found in this movie, but that's what makes it so great. One might even call it a fantasy masterpiece. It was certainly filled with unprecedented fantasy compared to other police thrillers, that's for sure.
How did
know,
I
Zach,
lose
I'm
some
suddenly
board
getting the urge to
durability?
watch
Was
it
that
again. Let's
from the
hurry up
jump?
and solve this case so that we can go rent the DVD. Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even feel like figments of my imagination. Think back to what Las Vegas looked like when we were driving up I-15. It was a mirage. And TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world. Meanwhile, American women become fascinated by the gorgeous city lights and are drawn toward those illusions. The very same women who were chosen as prom queens in their small towns. In the end, all they find are ghosts. Once their eyes adjust to that blinding light, they realize there's nothing but vanity and lust surrounding them. They finally figure out that it was all in their heads. Then they quickly try to satisfy themselves with something else. Drugs. And drugs are the gateway to a whole pantheon of crime. Zach, remember what you told me once? The women who turn to crime aren't the evil ones. The drugs aren't evil either. They're nothing but chemicals. The ones who feed off those women and use them. They're the ones to hate. Let's go, Zach. We need to find the person who's hiding behind Galena and drag them out into the blazing southern sun. Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person.
Getting on off the board cuts it. Come on, man. Not grumpy, I'm just cold.
I don't like hospitals.
Why not?
They soup folks up with medicine, cut 'em up, and then they try and act like they're your friends. Something ain't right about that, you know. It goes against the laws of nature. Plus, this is a church. So you got a pastor, a servant of God, actually playing God with his patients.
I think you have a point there, Patty. These days, we can neither determine death nor reproduce without the help of modern medicine. Yeah, our world's become quite an unnatural one. Oh, excuse me.
This is Lucare. You need to watch where you're going, or someone might end up tripping you.
Is that Professor R?
Zach, it's her. The stylish woman who watched Lise die.
I've been waiting for you, lost lamb.
Hi
Bad
there,
timing,
Pastor.
Doc.
Would you mind letting go of me? I'm in a bit of a hurry right now.
So pitiful. The Lord hungers.
Here we go again.
What?
Pitiful. Truly pitiful, my little lamb.
No, neither Zach nor I.
Oh, so pitiful. So pitiful, just pitiful. The Lord hungers. 1 can of Spam, 1 can of red beans, and 1 can of spinach. You are to offer up the taboo trinity.
The
Taboo?
Trinity.
Don't you mean the holy?
Oh, how I pity you. Unlike us humans, the Lord never errs. Now, my pitiful agent, bring forth the taboo trinity at once.
He just wants to, like, blow his
It is
butthole
the
out.
will of the Lord our God.
See? I told you this was gonna be a pain in the butt.
Literally.
But Zach and I need to go after that stylish woman.
Too late now. We need to obey God's will.
The Lord hungers.
I hate that he's got, like,
Come on,
access to
hurry
the
it up.
PA
We need
system.
to go.
So, like, it's echoing every
Well,
time
Zach,
he
I
says
don't know
something.
what to say. First an oracle, and now an order from God? Maybe this is the trial that will yield the ticket to the goddess. Either way, it looks like we have no choice but to gather the taboo trinity. I guess it just goes to show that small towns are always filled with the bizarre and unpredictable.
We're not staying up very late at all. Maybe another hour or so on the stream. Give or take a little bit.
One can of Spam, 1 can of red bean. You are to bring forth
Hey,
1 can of the Lord.
I suppose that even an FBI, it's no use, Zach. We'll just...
I have regretted talking to. He will not run very fast in that section. So, hi. I'm Agent York. Um, beans are neat. One can of spam. Isn't spam a trademark term? Gotta load that world map. That's a very fancy hearse. Or hearse, rather. I said hearse. like Hearst music. Ooh. Hey, there's a lot of money. Over 30 miles traveled. Yeah.
Ugh, the air out there don't feel right today. You feel it too, honey?
Why don't you take a break from all that investigating and enjoy some home-cooked soul food? Oh, don't worry, I'm enjoying the food my own way. Oh my lord, no siree, they ain't gonna cut it, honey. That ain't what you call enjoying something with all your heart. You're just taking it as it comes, using nothing but your own experience to decide whether something tastes good or not. You're trying to measure food from an unknown land with the same measuring system you've always used. And that ain't gonna help you discover nothing new. Now, am I right or am I right? If you really want to enjoy the local food here, you need to do as the locals tell you. I see, Alexis, you may have a point. Well then, is there a certain food you'd like me to sample? Oh my lord, of course there is, honey. I got a recipe for a special Cajun dish that I can make right here in my diner. This dish and power will course through your veins, also calm your mind and refill your stamina. And it's filled with flavor that you ain't never gonna experience in that big city of yours. Sounds very intriguing, doesn't it, Zach? Okay then, Alexis, can you make us that special dish right away? Oh my lord, how do you expect me to make a special dish that fast? Apparently all the ingredients takes a mighty long time and I don't even have them all in stock. How about I bring you the ingredients you need then? Oh my lord, I see your good looks aren't all you got going for you, honey. You got some real grit, and that can go a long way. Anyway, I'm gonna need a total of 3 ingredients. Would you mind bringing them to me one by one, honey? Here's the first ingredient I need. 1 rice at the sugarcane plantation. Once you bring me the first ingredient, I'll start working on it. In the meantime, you screw up and find me the next one. I'm getting real excited now. It's been quite a spell since I last made this special dish. Special Cajun dish. Smells like a case, doesn't it, Zach? Well. Whoops. I didn't mean to do this one.
Is this place a bowling alley or a restaurant?
Yes.
Oh my lord, what's wrong, honey? Can't tell the difference? It says restaurant right there on the outside.
And how do you explain that then?
That's so the customers can bowl while they eat. Convenient, ain't it? If you want to bowl, honey, you'll have to ask Mrs. Carpenter to open up the lane for you.
I'm good. The bowling wasn't
But if you just want to eat, then all you need to do is call my name. Got it? Oh.
I don't think any of these have beans.
Alexis, could I have some red beans and rice?
Oh my lord. Sorry, honey, but no can do. We only serve red beans and rice on Mondays. That's a meal you eat when you're busy, like folks usually are on Monday. It's been a tradition here in Louisiana for as long as I can remember. Wait, honey, don't tell me. You're the type who does your laundry every day? Oh.
Tradition, Zach. This is it. The Deep South. Louisiana. We need to obey tradition here and come back on Monday.
Ooh, so we're already time gated on one of these. I think it's Friday in game. Thursday, fuck. So we've got a while then, because I might have to kill a few days. Ugh. It's a long time to go with no progress in the investigation. Sucks. I appreciate the time mechanic from the first game when it was just time and not like time and day. The bottom of the tree is twitching a little bit. Granted, not when it's like frozen or anything like that, but well, alright, that's a bust for now. How did our skateboard percentage go back up?
Agent York.
I don't even know if it's a double bass or an upright bass. Oh, you always get them mixed up because they look so identical. Heh. Well, Agent York, I'm gonna let you in on a little something. Double basses and upright basses are the same instrument. That's...
Hi, Agent York.
I was hoping to customize my board here a little bit.
Looks like a case of... Let's come back.
Well, guess we can't really upgrade that. Hold on. The camera did some weird stuff while I was in there. Yeah, it's a phone. Ooh. Well, we might as well hop to the sugarcane plantation because we got something to do over there anyways. And we can just kind of cut straight through. Alright, so we took some damage when we hit the weird part of the road.
One lollipop, 2 lollipops, 3 lollipops. Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up.
Across the bridge. I can hit that. UFO bonus. Not as immediately worth it. So the board does recover a little bit of its health, I guess. We got time to kill, so we might as well make use of it, because if I can go around and earn money and stuff, that would be way better. Oh, so we can go back to the other world. I can do that. That's weird. I just want some rice, dude. Don't tell me I have to get this out of the other world. We're going to be very systematic about this. This game has okay frame rate when you're in here. Snarf. Good rice. Gotta give him the old what for, man. That's what's some rice, man. The fact that these don't stack sucks so bad. I want to be able to pick up as many goods as I can. And you can't go... Oh wait, yeah, you can go back. That's strange. There was no indicator. Oh. I guess there wasn't really any other path for us, was there? Well, there kind of was, but we gotta backtrack significantly for it. Wait, this looks oddly familiar. Yeah, they put me back at the beginning of it. So like ignores all the progress I made. Sucks. That's weird that it put me back at the beginning instead of the end. So, we're learning some rules about how these places work. One of them is don't proceed through a portal until you're really super duper ready to commit to it. If you don't commit to it, you're gonna regret it. I don't like when sometimes those bullets do not register. That happens more often than I would like to see. If you're in super close proximity, you'll hear the whoosh, but you won't hear, or you won't actually get the damage done. And we're making a little bit of side cash here. Not much. Since you can technically farm it, they throw so many bullets at me. Healing items and shit that, like, you don't really have to come in with anything. You'll be fine. Alright, so I feel like there was something I passed up. Oops. The stamina rate drain is one of the worst things by far. That was this big room. This is just another big room. This is the very beginning. So no, you did not miss shit. Confirmed. That would be the exit, I believe. Oh no. That's the true entrance, okay. Not a very big area, like when you look at it like with no obstructions. The obstructions absolutely take. Yeah, those boxes of rubber bullets are so plentiful with what they give. I really like this music. It feels like you're in a strange, hostile place. Looking for rice, or may be in totally the wrong place to get it. It's 50 bullets a box. Ooh. Got him in midair. I needed that kill to be pretty definitive, to be honest. That's not what I wanted. So I can empty up a spot and patch up my wounds like that. I don't understand what that is. Like up and down, I guess it maybe... Oh, those change weapons. We just have the one though. And then right just cycles through them. Left cycles through them backwards. Okay. I never realized that. Because it was so irrelevant. Bro, I just want the rice. Versus this Cajun food that I was offered. This is a bad situation. It's not supposed to stun you 100%. Oh, I had the double whatever. That's why. Like normally it's only like at a certain like percentage, but I guess if you have the double, then you're pretty boned. Y'all bitches got really lucky just because I couldn't shoot. Oh, that full paralysis is terrible. Yeah, the reason we're for sure calling it a little bit earlier is I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, and I want to make sure that I get enough sleep, that I'm not awake to get hungry, because if I eat, I might mess up my stuff. I want to show improvement. So this will be kind of a bigger appointment for me. Can you fight bosses again? No. But you do get to loot the areas again, which is kind of convenient. But, yeah, it's my heart doctor. And sleep doctor. It's both. I go there more. I mean, it's for both, but at this point, it's more for sleep. But this is my, hey, is CPAP helping you? Which I already know it is. I feel it. But this is where they're gonna actually look at my numbers and stuff. So we didn't get that rice. If it's just out in the middle of the fucking field or some shit, which grants a sugar plantation. But, yeah, be a little fussy about that. Well, that was terrible. Alligators? Actually, yes.
Zach, we're heading toward the Mississippi River, and crossing that river isn't going to help us solve it.
True. But and hear me out. I shouldn't have anything for him.
Zach, we're heading toward the Mississippi River, and crossing that river isn't going to help us solve this case. Let's head back into town.
love it, he'll hum just like a little bit of Life is Beautiful. It's good stuff. Because that song became such a meme, like within the Deadly Premonition community, for good reason.
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach?
Owl's Nest Foyer. Hello, beautiful. So we'll go down there because that's like by where we're gonna go next, but we're gonna mess around Thompson's farm next, I think. Alright, so there's a phone right here. I'm curious what it's pointing out over here, but it's probably not much.
Smarty
David.
pants.
York, you strong? You ask me if I'm strong? Well, at the very least, I don't think I'm as physically strong as you. Heard about you, yep. You kids are bad guys. Gotta be strong to do that, yep. Yes, I suppose you have a point. Strong when it comes to criminals. I'm strong too, super strong. But I couldn't protect Lise. I'm really weak. Avery, I can tell you really liked Lise. Do you have any theories about the identity of the perpetrator? Perpetrator? No. I mean the bad guy who killed Lise. I see bad guys. Yep. At night in town, the red guys come out. They're bad. Did the red guys kill Lise? The red guys are bad. The red guys are bad, yep. But I can't beat them. Avery? Yeah, York, you can beat the bad guys. You're a smarty pants, yep. You beat the red guys. Then I'll give you a treat, yep. Looks like he wants us to go and defeat those red guys. He might be a friend of the red shadows that appear around town at night. What do you think, Zach? Should we heed the sad strong man's request? Okay. That's pretty reasonable. And then we just meet up with Avery when we're done. And yeah. Nah, we're gonna end this stream on a good note. The save was important, sure, but we got defeated earlier by a thing, and I want to clear it. Even though I don't intend on continuing the story at all after that jump. But I want to clear it, damn it. There it is. Wow. God, we went flying over that, didn't we? Then the lever we need. It's right here so Patty can get through. There. Louisiana iris leaf, oak leaf. Oh, we're gonna have to gather it like that, huh? So me running around that place was kind of pointless, but kind of not. We learned some important rules. All right. Well, I think that's enough for one day. We'll be back at it again tomorrow night, of course. As far as when, that depends on when they let me out of work. Because it can be, yeah, whenever the fuck. So yeah, y'all, be safe, be kind, and I'll catch y'all later.